Hey there, science fans. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the weird and wonderful world of science with a countdown of the top 10 bizarre scientific experiments. These experiments range from the hilarious to the downright strange, but they all have one thing in common. They've taught us something amazing about the world. Let's get started. Number 10. The Stanford Marshmallow Experiment. In the 1970s, psychologist Walter Mischel wanted to study delayed gratification in children. He gave kids a marshmallow and told them they could eat it now or wait 15 minutes and get 2 marshmallows. The results? Kids who waited tended to have better life outcomes. Who knew marshmallows could be so insightful? Number 9. The Milgram Obedience Experiment. Conducted in the 1960s by Stanley Milgram, this experiment tested how far people would go in obeying an authority figure, even if it meant harming another person. Participants were asked to administer electric shocks to a stranger. The shocks were fake, but the results were real. A shocking revelation about human behavior. Number 8. The Space Roaches Experiment. NASA sent cockroaches into space to study the effects of microgravity on their growth and behavior. The roaches not only survived but thrived, giving scientists valuable insights into how living organisms adapt to space environments. Creepy yet crucial for space exploration. Moving on to number 7, the Pavlov's dog experiment. Now let's dive into a classic from the early 1900s. Ivan Pavlov, a renowned scientist, demonstrated conditioned responses through a simple yet effective experiment. He trained dogs to salivate at the mere sound of a bell, which he achieved by repeatedly pairing this sound with the presentation of food. This groundbreaking study not only fascinated the scientific community, but also laid the foundation for behaviorism in psychology. At number 6 we have the Schrödinger's cat thought experiment. Physicist Erwin Schrödinger came up with this thought experiment to illustrate the complex paradoxes of quantum mechanics. Imagine this: a cat placed inside a box is considered to be simultaneously alive and dead until someone opens the box to observe it. While thankfully, no cats were actually harmed, this mind-bending concept has continued to puzzle and fascinate both scientists and philosophers around the world. And at number 5, the elephant on acid experiment. Back in 1962, scientists embarked on a highly controversial experiment by administering a massive dose of LSD to an elephant named Tusko, aiming to observe its reactions. Unfortunately, the experiment went terribly wrong, resulting in a tragic outcome that highlighted the severe dangers and ethical issues associated with using animals in such extreme studies. It stands as a bizarre and tragic lesson in scientific responsibility. Number 4, the pitch drop experiment. This is one of the longest-running experiments out there, and it's all about demonstrating that some substances, like pitch, which might look solid, are actually very slow-moving liquids. Get this. It started way back in 1927, and so far only 9 drops have fallen. Talk about slow science, huh? Number 3, the monster study. Back in 1939, speech pathologist Wendell Johnson embarked on a highly controversial experiment involving orphans to delve into the effects of positive and negative speech therapy. Tragically, the children who were subjected to negative therapy ended up developing speech problems, starkly demonstrating the significant impact psychological interventions can have. Number 2, the Humanzee Experiment. In the 1920s, Soviet scientist Ilya Ivanov embarked on an audacious attempt to create a human-chimpanzee hybrid, known colloquially as a humanzee. Although his experiment ultimately failed, it undeniably raises profound ethical questions about the boundaries of scientific experimentation and what it means to be human. And finally, number 1, the twin study. This involved astronauts Scott and Mark Kelly, with Scott spending a year in space while Mark remained on Earth. By comparing their health and DNA before and after Scott's space journey, researchers gleaned valuable insights into how long-term space travel affects the human body. The results? They uncovered fascinating differences in their physiology and gene expression. And there you have it, folks, the top 10 bizarre scientific experiments. Which one did you find the strangest? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an episode of our science adventures. Thanks for watching and keep exploring the weird and wonderful world of science.